Hello guys, it is Sam and I am here today to film another tag video. But I'm super excited about this tag because it's a Doctor Who tag and it was created by Sabrina over at Sabrina Handal and myself because we're both huge Doctor Who fans. And so she's like, you know what? Why don't we create another Doctor Who tag? So we did, and here it is. So I will link her channel down below so you guys can go and check it out. And you should subscribe because she's pretty cool and her videos are hilarious and all that good stuff. So we decided to make this Doctor Who tag about the Doctors. So we have one type of book you need to find for each of the Doctors. All 12, including the newest one, Peter Capaldi, and the War Doctor. So it's 13 different books that you have to choose to fit the criteria for that Doctor. And I'm excited about this. And I have to admit, she probably thought of most of them, or at least most of the good ones. So kudos to you, Sabrina. You had some good ideas on these. So let us start, shall we? And I'm totally not prepared for this, so it'll be interesting. I didn't think about what books I wanted to use. So we're just going to go off the cuff here and have fun with it. So let us start. So the first one is The First Doctor, of course. And you have to choose your favorite book in a series. And this one actually is surprisingly easy for me. I am choosing J.R.R. Tolkien's The Fellowship of the Ring because contrary to what most people like, I happen to like the first book in the Lord of the Rings trilogy the best. It is my favorite book because you have Tom Bombadil and Old Man Willow and a lot of the characters that I absolutely love, and a lot of scenes I love more than the other two books. So yes, that's what I choose for this one, Fellowship of the Ring. The second Doctor is your favorite sequel. Favorite sequel. Which one? What is my favorite sequel? Favorite sequel, I'm actually going to go with the second book in the Gentleman Bastards series, Red Seas Under Red Skies by Scott Lynch, because though I love The Lives of Locke Lamora, I really liked the second book a little bit more, I think, because come on, there's pirates. How can you not like a book more when there's pirates? The third Doctor is your favorite trilogy. We're just showing some Tolkien love today because my favorite trilogy is the Lord of the Rings trilogy. I loved these books. This was a series that really got me into fantasy. It's my favorite trilogy. It was 15 years ago when I first read it, and it still is now. Lord of the Rings. The Fourth Doctor is a book with a colorful cover. For this one, I am choosing Graceland by Kristen Kishore because there's a lot going on here. There's a lot of different colors, the yellows and the greens and the browns and the reds, and it's just a gorgeous cover, and it's one of my favorite covers I have ever encountered on a book, so of course I had to choose it. It's just awesome. Look at it. And it's shiny. It's shiny. How can you not like shiny things? Moving on to the Fifth Doctor. A Fifth Doctor is a book featuring sports, because in case you guys don't know, the Fifth Doctor loved playing cricket, so it works. So I don't really have any books really about sports, but I am deciding to choose the Harry Potter series because of Quidditch. Quidditch is a very big sport in the wizarding world, and it's one that Harry loves. So yes, I am choosing Quidditch by Harry Potter. The Sixth Doctor is a book featuring a dark and powerful villain. So for this one, I feel like the obvious answers would probably be The Lord of the Rings with Sauron and Harry Potter with Voldemort, so I decided to go a little bit different for this question, and I chose The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss because it's a Chandrian, which spoilers coming up here, which happens in the very beginning of the book, so it's not too big of a spoiler, killed his family, and nobody really knows what these beings are. They're sinister, and any time anybody even gets close to discovering what these creatures are, they are pretty much killed right away. And I would say that's a pretty dark and powerful villain, so that's what I chose for the Sixth Doctor. For the Seventh Doctor, you have to choose your favorite adult or dark novel, because the Seventh Doctor kind of had a darker nature to him, more so than the other Doctors, so that's why we chose that type of book for him. Sense. And I decided to choose Prince of Thorns by Mark Lawrence. I don't have it right now because it's being lent out, but that book was pretty dark. I mean, the main character is a pretty dark, kind of an evil kid, really. But it was a really good book. So that's what I'm choosing for Doctor number 7. So moving on to the Eighth Doctor, it is to choose your favorite romantic book or romance book. So this one was easy for me. I chose Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. It is one of not only my favorite classics and one of my favorite books of all time, but it's also one of my favorite romance books. How can you not love Jane falling in love with Mr. Rochester? And plus, you know, he kind of had the classical look about him with his outfit and his hair and his TARDIS interior. So I thought Jane Eyre was a good choice for this Doctor. Moving on to the War Doctor, you are to choose a book you wish you could forget that you read. This one is easy for me. I chose Deep Blue by Jennifer Donnelly. I didn't even finish it, but this book sucked. It was probably one of the worst books I've ever read. The writing was terrible. Just appalling. So yeah, I wish I could forget I ever read this. I wish I could forget that I ever read the word currency, referring to mermaid money. Worst line in a book ever. Yeah. If you saw my June wrap-up, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Wish I could forget you. The Ninth Doctor. A book that made you pick up a series or genre again. So for this one, I am choosing Scarlet by Marissa Meyer because I wasn't really sold on Cinder, and I almost didn't read Scarlet. But I'm glad I did, because Scarlet sold me on the series. I really, really, really like Scarlet. I like the character of Scarlet. I like the story surrounding Scarlet. And basically, it just sold me on the series and makes me want to finish it and pick up Cress in the future books that will come out. So that's what I choose. The 10th Doctor, of course, since he is a lot of people's favorite Doctor of the new series, is to find your favorite super hyped book. So a book that you have read that has been super hyped on BookTube and elsewhere that you also like. So for this one, I'm again actually going to choose the Lunar Chronicle series. I know it's not just one book, but these are super, super hyped on BookTube, and though it was Scarlet that made me like the series, Cinder, of course, is the one that's probably been the most hyped, so I'm just kind of concluding them both as one, like the whole series is one, even though I haven't read Cress yet. So that is what I choose for the 10th Doctor. The 11th Doctor, since he is so boisterous and childlike and excitable, we decided that we would have you choose your favorite children's or middle grade book. For this one, I chose, and I don't own it, but I chose the BFG, The Big Friendly Giant, by Roald Dahl. And I chose it because it was the book that got me into reading as a kid. I absolutely adored that book. I remember staying up late trying to finish it, and it's basically what just started my journey of reading, and I thought it was perfect. It's a kid's book, so of course I had to use it. And last, but certainly not least, The 12th Doctor, your most anticipated new release. For this one, I am choosing The Still Regard as Silent Things by Patrick Rothfuss, and it's a book, I'm actually not sure if it's a full book or if it's just like a novella, coming out at the end of October, and it takes place within the Kingkiller Chronicles world, and it is featuring Ori, one of the more popular characters in the series, and I'm excited to read it because it's a new Patrick Rothfuss book and there hasn't been one for several years, and I cannot wait to read it. So that is my most hotly anticipated book. Alright guys, that is our tag. I hope you enjoyed it. All of my fellow Doctor Who fans, and even those of you who aren't Doctor Who fans, I hope you enjoyed it as well. And I know who I'm going to be tagging in this because I know a lot of Doctor Who fans on BookTube. So I am going to tag Nimi, Cater, and Carla, and I will link their channels down below so you guys can go and check them out, and I'll be excited to see what you guys pick and when you guys do this tag. So yeah, alright, I hope you guys enjoyed it. That is all I have for you today, and until next time guys, bye!